I'm just going to get straight into it and say thank you for 2,000 subscribers. Although, in the time it's taken me to make this, we'll probably be nearly at 2,100, which is scary fast. If you aren't subbed and watching this, well, I think we both know what's best. Wink wink. But to get to the point, I will cover the About the Channel bit first, and then the Ask Me Anything that I had on my community page second. To get to the HitPlay channel and why I made it, you have to look back really quite far to my previous channel called Fully Stacked Tier. A whole 13 years ago, where it was basically just me messing around with YouTube Team Fortress 2 poops and a bit of Source Filmmaker. Moving on from that, I played quite a bit of League, which is evident, and then variety gaming. But then the big one came along where I actually decided to be semi-serious and put a bit more effort into my content, which some of you predecessor players may well remember me for on my old channel, a game called Paragon. I wasn't massive by any stretch, but the videos got a decent amount of views in my opinion for the amount of subscribers that I had, and also got shared by Epic a few times for the Winterfest guide, competition thing they did. So that was enough for me to keep going. That was until the day most of us will loathe remembering, when Paragon shut down. After that, I did make a few videos for a bit, but due to life and other things like work, I stopped, as I didn't have enough time, other than the odd random video upload. However, moving much further on to the last year or two, due to recent events like the pandemic and other reasons covered in my update video, I had more time, and was going a bit crazy with nothing to do with it. And that's why this channel was made. I wanted something creative to do while at the same time interacting with people and maybe even being informative in some of my videos, which is what most of my predecessor videos seem to lean into, as well as the review side of things. Though looking back at the first thumbnails and logo I had, they were honestly fucking awful. It's just laughably bad, though granted I am no graphic designer, I'm glad I swiftly moved on from that. It was meant to be a retro style 8-bit kind of icon, hence the Pac-Man style ghost, but Jesus Christ, it was bad. Kevin, one of the subscribers, once asked me this, so I'll explain the name HitPlay. If you ever played on an old style arcade cabinet, they would usually say, hit start to play. Remove start and 2, there you go, HitPlay. It's gaming related, it's video related, and it's short and to the point. It wasn't something that I actually spent long on, it pretty much just popped into my head. But I like it, and I hope you like it. Moving on to the Ask Me Anything part of the video. The first question is, cookies or pasta? Well, if it's just pasta on its own, then definitely cookies. But if it's got some sauce, like maybe a carbonara, or we've got some mac and cheese with fresh made sauce, then I could go for some pasta. Question 2. Who was your first Twitch sub? My first Twitch sub actually happened on the first day of affiliate the other day, and it was Derpy Joestar or Shut Up Derpy. But you'd know that, because you're the one that asked this question, you cheeky blighter. Third up, do I use a script, and how do I go about making my video as concise as they are? I do use a script, though I didn't used to, and found myself rambling a fair bit, so I made myself use them. In terms of making the video straight to the point, that's basically the script. I try to write a script and then take a day away from it and come back and reread it to make sure there's no useless fluff or extras that I could put into it. I found that going away from a script and coming back with fresh eyes helps a lot. Numero 4 is any advice for jungling. Well, this is MOBA related and I haven't jungled in a long time properly. But the few bits of advice I can give is always try to keep an eye on the map while jungling. If you can see where the enemy jungler is, you know where it's safe. The same goes for ganking. If you know where they are, or where they recently were, you know the risk of counter ganks and can go steal their jungle buffs or farm if you can see they just ganked on the opposite side of the map. Question 5 is, do I have any pets? I do. I have a cat called Socks who was a stray and wandered in one day after living around my area for a few months. Never found an owner after looking for a few months after he came in, and no microchip either. So I decided, as he came in quite a few times, and it was getting cold in the winter around November, just to let him stay, and randomly gained a cat. He's a grumpy ass most of the time, but when he wants attention he will purr before you even touch him, which is pretty funny. I also have a short video of him, which I will link in the top right. This next question is a 2-for-1, and both about predecessor. Can you play an ultra-wide, which is 21:9 aspect ratio, and when is it coming out? Yes, you can play in ultra-wide. As far as I'm aware, people have been playing it in ultra-wide perfectly fine. And the release date is unknown currently, but the early access is supposedly on track for this year, according to developers. Question 7 is, what do I think of Overprime versus Predecessor? Well, I won't lie, Predecessor is the only one out of the Paragon successors that I've actually followed properly. But I think based on what I know, Overprime is limiting itself quite a lot via the method of download and the fact you can't even register new accounts right now. People might be attracted to Overprime for its legacy feel, but honestly, legacy was changed for a reason, and the legacy map as well as orb dunking were both in need of changing, so personally, I wouldn't want to go back to that. The next question is, what are my PC specs? Well, I've been lucky as I started this PC right before the prices went up, and I managed to finish it last week, after starting the build in October 2020. I'll list the parts in the description also, but my build is Fractal Meshify S2 case, ASUS X570 Tough Gaming motherboard, AMD 5900X CPU, Arctic Liquid Freezer 2 360 CPU cooler, Trident Z RGB series 16GB DDR4 3600MHz RAM, MSI 3080 SUPRIM X GPU, Corsair RM1000x PSU, and the peripherals are a GIGABYTE G32 QC curved 31.5 BA 2560-5,007,500 165Hz 1ms monitor. Yes, I know I messed that up, but you can read it, it's fine. Logitech G502 mouse, Corsair K70 RGB MK2 mechanical motherboard, and a Kingston HyperX Cloud 2 headset. My mic is also a Blue Yeti X. Second to last question now, how is my search for a logo going? The short answer is terrible. If you saw my Twitter, I was trying to find a designer and basically got spammed to death, as well as many scammers trying to rush me and wanting payment immediately. I have now disabled all of that side of things to try and find one myself. This will probably take some time to try and find a good one. The final question is, what games am I playing at the minute? Recently, I've been playing XCOM 2 again and the Doom Eternal DLC, which has been pretty fun. I'm also trying to find the time to finish Boneworks, which is a VR game, and in the near future I would like to stream Subnautica Below Zero on Twitch for the first time, and hopefully Predecessor, when we get another date. That's all the questions and information about the channel and myself covered. Thanks again for 2,000 subscribers. The next target is a huge 10k, so you know, only around 7,900 to go. Remember to follow my Twitch and Twitter as well as join my Discord if you haven't already. It's grown quite a bit in the last few weeks, but it's always good to see more. With that, I will see you for the next video.